6 News anchor Ashley GastonMen reports the group from Southeast Texas heard the stories of death and destruction and heroism firsthand.
The September 11th memorial at Tyrrell Park is as close as some Southeast Texans will get to the Twin Towers.
I really recall most often are the tales of heroism.
But these first responders were there in New York and heard the stories firsthand.
I can't imagine how stressful that was.
Beaumont Police Sergeant Rob Flores
was hoping for a little relief, only a little relief in their face.
Port Arthur Police Sergeant Carona.
The stories that we heard were too difficult to even speak.
And Sally Broussard from Spindletop MHMR. They traveled to New York City about 6 months after the attacks. They were part of a crisis support team. They listened to the first responders in New York talk about what they'd been through. Sometimes the stories were so personal, the New York firefighters and police officers could only tell the crisis team and not even their own families.
When he turned around, he realized he had run over bodies, and he felt so bad about that. But knowing that he was a rescuer going towards people who were alive, it gave him a little comfort that he was still doing what he thought to do. And to see that in his face, and when I asked him how many times he's been able to tell his story, he told me that I was the first, that he had never been able to tell that story to anybody.
This day holds special memory to me, and being able to go there after the event and talk to people and the officers that actually working the scene, most of whom thought that they were going to die that day.
Broussard went to New York City 3 times to provide support.
All the officers in different departments gave out commemorative pins.
She wears the pins and an NYPD Police Officer shirt she received from those who responded at Ground Zero.
I feel it was really a strange and really sobering experience. And to know that those police officers were there 12 hours a day doing that, they were geared up in Tyvek because, it was still a really hazardous situation. There was a lot of dangerous chemicals in the air, and they dealt with that hour after hour.
Hour after hour, year after year. The tales are imprinted in the minds of local first responders, remembering their roles, how they helped, paying tribute in their own small way 11 years later. In Beaumont, Ashley GastonMen, KFDM 6 News.
Members of the crisis response team went to New York City 3 times to provide support.